This is the Louie T Network. Hey, either you're outside or you're
in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on this program. Week number 15 in the National Football League. Miami Dolphins on the road trying to slay the dragon known as the New England Patriots. Patriots with the division on the line here. You win this game, division is sewn up like a tailor. Relatively easy like Jerry Heller. You win this game, it's all done in the AFC East. You lose this game, you leave the door slightly ajar for these Dolphins. Remember, they beat you week 1, so you lose this game, they get the season sweep. All of a sudden now, division isn't so clear as it once was. So this is a big one for both teams. Dolphins still in the midst of a wild card chase, still can get their hands on the division if the Patriots want to trip down the stretch. So a lot of things out there dangling in front of the face of the Miami Dolphins. For the Patriots, it's real simple. That one carrot is dangling in your face. Win this game, you get the division, check that off of the checklist, and then you're trying to go on to bigger, better things like #1 seed in the AFC, home field throughout. That's what it's all about. I mean, let's face it, you're going to win this division, you're making the postseason, all of that is irrelevant, okay? In the grand scheme of things, that's a given. That carrot dangling in your face, though, that's called home field advantage in the AFC playoffs. That's important. You need that. So get this game, get it out the way, and continue on your march to that #1 seed if you are the New England Patriots. Little disappointed in the Dolphins early in this game. Here's why. Momentum killer early. 50 yards, 60 minutes grab. And I've been crying for these two to hook up for the duration of these two's careers together. I think they've been together 2 years now since Mike Wallace came over in free agency and Tannehill's been the quarterback. I've been saying that they can't take the next step. Neither one of these guys. Mike Wallace as a receiver, Ryan Tannehill as a quarterback, they can't take the next step together if they're not hitting the deep ball. He hits him, but he underthrew it still. Mike Wallace was 2 yards beyond each Patriot defender. If he hits him in stride, it's a touchdown. Instead, he has to slow down, wait for the football. He catches it, though. That's the most important part. 50-yard game. And so that's the first play of the game. You open up the gate taking a shot. I love it. I want more of it. But you have to settle for a field goal. Okay, that's fine. You can't have it blocked. Okay? All that you've done, all the good that you've done on this opening drive, pushing the football down the field, getting in the scoring range, taking the early lead and the momentum from the New England Patriots, gone. One fell swoop. Block kick, okay? Blocked by Jamie Collins, scooped up by Kyle Arrington, off to the races he goes. Touchdown Patriots. That's a 10-point swing, folks. 10-point swing. Goes from 3-0 Dolphins to 7-0 Patriots. Right there, I felt like everything you built early on in this game, and again, it's relatively early in this game, is gone up. All the momentum. I talk about missed field goals all the time and the 3 things that happened. Well, that didn't happen here. Throw all of that out the window. You gave up a touchdown. You gave up 7 points off of this field goal being blocked. That's tough to stomach, tough to swallow. 7-0 Patriots early in this game. Very disappointed in the Dolphins giving up that block for a touchdown. Can't happen. Not in a game of this magnitude. Can't have that happen. 7-0 Patriots up as we go to the second quarter. Duron Harmon with the pick of an errant throw by Ryan Tannehill. At this point in the game, it's 7-3. Dolphins have gotten on the board, and Tannehill just lets it rip. Air mails it. The young fella out of Rutgers makes a play on the football, able to catch it. And the catch was fine. I mean, it was an easy catch to make. The return was where you really saw that, hey, man, that's all right, man. Great play. To make a guy miss, get down the sidelines, tightrope it, not step out of bounds, work your way down the field, use your blockers, get into scoring range, and set the team up with a short field. Excellent play by Duron Harmon to make a play and make a play after the play to get his team in scoring position. Off of that excellent return inside the Dolphins' 10-yard line leads to a 4-yard Shane Vereen touchdown. It's now 14-3 in the football game. Here's another example of the Dolphins, and I say this especially when you're on the road and when you're playing a dragon, when you're trying to slay the dragon, You can't go in there pussyfooting around. You can't go in soft. You got to go in with the hammer looking to do damage. Here's an opportunity for you to do exactly that. Damian Williams opened up the sidelines on a wheel route. Tannehill hits him right in his hands. He drops the football. Can't happen. Cannot happen in a game of this magnitude. You want to win? You catch that football. Obviously, you don't want to win. You drop the football. Got to settle for a field goal. Instead of the score being 14-10, Dolphins now only down by 4. They got to settle for a field goal. It's 14-6. That's the difference between winning and losing in this league. Making a play, not making a play. Dolphins haven't made the plays in this game thus far, and that's why they're trailing 14-6. As we move on, great punt return by Jarvis Landry. He's been such a huge spark for this team this season. Right before the halftime break, seems like the Patriots are going to go into the halftime break up 14-6. He bust off this huge punt return, puts the Dolphins in a very advantageous situation, and it sets up a 32-yard Mike Wallace one-handed grab. This is gorgeous. And I love the fact that Tannehill gave him an opportunity. Throw it up there. You got speed. You got speed. Use it, man. Burn it. And give him a chance. And he threw it out there. Wasn't the best of throws, but again, he gave Mike Wallace a chance. In 60 minutes, reached out, grabbed the football, got his body inbounds. It's a touchdown. They tried to rule it incomplete, took another look at it, ruled it a touchdown. 14-13 going into the halftime break. That was a huge momentum shifter right before the half. Now the Dolphins are really in this football game, only down 1 at the half. I thought that the events that transpired right after the half, though, were so big, it wasn't even something that you could quantify. You couldn't even measure how big the Patriots getting the football after the half and doing what they did was in this game. Now, I feel like had the Dolphins had the ability to get the football and possess it after the halftime break, instead of the Patriots getting the football first. And that's why I'm a huge stickler for if I win the toss, I want the ball after the halftime break. Because you know what the score is when the game starts, 0-0. You got every opportunity to do whatever it is you're going to do at the beginning of the game. At the halftime break, you have no clue what's going on in the game. You don't know what the momentum is like. You don't know what the score is going to be. You can always use the football after the half. Whether you're up, whether you're down, it's always advantageous to have the football after the halftime break. At the beginning of the game, I don't think it really does you any good to have the football first necessarily. Some coaches are big on jumping out to fast starts and all that. Those can be erased. But if you go into the halftime break with the momentum that the Dolphins had and they get the football after the break, if they go down and they get any points, man, they're on cloud 9 at that point. But instead, Patriots get the football, and this drive that they put together right after the half was some kind of vicious. I mean, it was time-consuming. It was methodical. It was so poignant and sharp that it hurt the Dolphins right to their core. Killed all the momentum that they had going into the break, and they get in the end zone. That hurt. And it hurt so much that the Patriots went on a nasty run in the third quarter, totaling 24 points in the quarter, going up 38-13, 24 unanswered points in the quarter. And man, it was tough to see all of these things transpire the way that they did, because Iron Eagle, if you watch the game, Iron Eagle says this. It was 31-13 when he said this. This doesn't feel like a blowout, and it didn't. It's rare that you look up at the scoreboard and it's 31-13 and you say to yourself, damn, it's 31-13. It don't feel like 31-13. Feels more like 20-13 or 21-13. But it was 31-13. And the reason it was 31-13 is because the Dolphins let the game slip away and the Patriots were taking advantage of opportunities. Gronk, very quiet in the first half. Boy, did he announce his presence in the second half. 3 huge catches, 1 for a touchdown. The other 2 setting up scores for this Patriots offense. He was magnificent in the second half. You got an Edelman touchdown. He was big in the first half. He continued to make some things happen in the second half. He had a nice little punt return from Edelman or Amendola, one or the other, in the mix. And then Tannehill picked off by Patrick Chung. That led to more points. So just a lot of things going downhill for the Dolphins in the second half. They were never able to recover. And I didn't see a blowout coming. I just didn't see the Dolphins mentally being a team that could be blown out in this game, but that's exactly what happened. They don't score for the second week in a row. Patriots hold their opponents to no points in the second half. Remember, they did the same thing to San Diego last week in that 23-14 victory on the road. Come home, do the same thing to the Dolphins. They don't score another point in the game. Lose this game 41-13. Patriots dominate a team that had beaten them earlier in the season, so they exact a measure of revenge, wrap up the AFC East in the process. Now they're putting their sights on the #1 seed in the AFC, which is what they want to accomplish and make all roads to the Super Bowl go through Foxborough from the AFC side of things if you're trying to make it to the Super Bowl. So huge win for the Patriots. The loss all but eliminates the Dolphins from playoff contention at 7-7. You got a couple of 9-5 teams. I don't think if they lose out and you win out, I still don't see a scenario where you get in. At this point now, you got to know that your time is up this season. You had a chance. You had opportunities. You let some games slip through your fingers. There's a couple of games you can point to and say, man, we had Green Bay, we had Detroit, we let those games slip through our fingers. You had opportunities this year. You let some teams off the hook. You had Baltimore last week. That was the game for me right there that did it. You were up 10-0 after the first quarter. Somehow you let the Baltimore Ravens run off the next 28 out of 31 points scored in the game, win that 28-13 running away. So you had opportunities this season. You let them slip through your fingers. And again, a team that gives it a run but isn't good enough down the stretch to get it done and find themselves in the postseason. It's going to do it for Dolphins, Patriots. I thank you for joining me here on the program. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down week number 15 in the National Football League. See you in a bit.